projectile motion, and we solved some questions based on that. Let us study further. Okay. So now today we are going to talk about position and velocity of a projectile at any time t. So basically what we are trying to do, we are trying to find that once the projectile is being projected, then at any particular moment, where is the projectile? Number one. Number two, at that moment, what is the velocity of projectile? So these two things we are going to find. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and projectile is projected like this. This is velocity u, this is angle theta. Okay, this is 0, 0. Now at any time t, suppose the particle is here at point P, x, y. So we are going to find x coordinate also. We are going to find y coordinate also. Other than that, what will be the velocity along x-axis? That also we are going to find. What will be velocity along y-axis? That also we are going to find. Okay. So let us study further. In the given situation, a projectile is being projected from point O. We are calling it O because we treat it as origin 0, 0. Okay. With speed u, making an angle theta with horizontal. Making an angle theta with horizontal. Okay. Now see, along x-axis, the component of u will be u cos theta. Correct? Along y-axis, component of u will be u sin theta. Okay. And after that, we'll discuss further. So, along x-axis, you can call it along horizontal also. Along y-axis, you may call it along vertical also. So along x-axis, how much is ux? So ux is equal to u cos theta. Ux is equal to u cos theta. Is there any acceleration along horizontal? No. Ax is 0. Ax is 0. Now along y-axis, uy is equal to how much? U sine theta. Ay is g downward, that will be minus g. Okay, because the direction of g is always downward, we are calling it minus g. Okay. Okay, now we are finding at any time t, so time t is equal to t, time t is equal to t, vx is equal to question mark. That means how much will be the velocity along x direction, that is question mark. Secondly, the x coordinate is also question mark. We need to find that how much is the value of x coordinate. Also along y direction, vy is equal to question mark, vy is equal to question mark, and y coordinate is also question mark. Okay, so we are going to find these values in both direction, x axis also, along y axis also. Okay, so let us see further. So Vx is equal to Ux plus Ax into T. Vx is equal to Ux plus Ax into T. So basically what we have done, we have applied V is equal to U plus At. We have applied V is equal to U plus At. So Vx will be Ux, and that is equal to U cos theta. We have already talked about this yesterday when I told you that along x-axis velocity of projectile remains the same. Along x-axis velocity of projectile remains the same. So Vx is equal to Ux is equal to U cos theta. It will not be changing. Next comes the x coordinate. So x is equal to Ux into T plus half Ax into T square. Now again Ax is 0. So your x will be nothing but Ux, which is U cos theta, into T. That's it. That will be your x coordinate at any time t. Okay. Let us talk about y direction. Along y direction, Vy is equal to Uy plus Ay into t. So Vy will be Uy is U sine theta minus g into t. That will be your velocity along y-axis at any time t. At any time t. Okay. And y will be uy into t plus half ay into t square. Y will be uy into t plus half ay into t square. So y comes out to be uy is u sine theta into t. Excuse me. So y will be u sine theta into t minus half into g into t square. So that will be our y coordinate. Okay. So what will be final position r vector? So r vector, which is final position, is equal to xi cap plus yj cap. Okay. X and y we have already calculated. Similarly, velocity and that will be how much? That will be Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. This will be the velocity at that moment. This will be the velocity at that moment. Okay. Question. An object is projected with speed 40 meters per second, making an angle 53 degree from horizontal. Find position and velocity of object at t is equal to 3 seconds. Find position and velocity of object at t is equal to 3 seconds. Please find. Okay, everyone, please pay attention. So along x-axis, along y-axis, okay, ux will be u cos 53 is equal to 40 into cos 53. So 40 into 3 by 5, so that will be 24. Uy is equal to u sin 53 is equal to 40 into 4 by 5, and that will be 32. Okay. Ax is equal to 0. Ay is equal to minus g is equal to minus 10. T is equal to 3 seconds. T is equal to 3 seconds. Okay. So Vx is equal to Ux is equal to 24. Nobody can change it. Nobody can change it. Alright. Now x will be how much? Ux into T. Ux is 24 into 3 is equal to 72. 24 into 3 is 72. Now let us talk about Vy. So Vy is equal to Uy plus Ay into T. Uy is 32 plus Ay is minus 10 into 3. That will be 2 meters per second. Okay. And y will be Uy into T plus half Ay into T square. So y will be Uy is how much? 32 into 3 plus half Ay is minus 10 into 3 square. So 32 into 3 is 96 minus 45. 96 minus 45. How much that becomes? How much that becomes? 51. So now we have got all values. So r vector will be xi cap plus yj cap, and that will become x is 72, I cap plus y is 51, j cap. Velocity is equal to vx I cap plus vy j cap. Vx was how much? 24. Vy was how much? 2 j cap. Answer. How many of you solved it correctly? Okay. Okay. Good. 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 IPQ. IPQ means in the previous question. IPQ, find time. Find time when velocity of particle. Find time when velocity of particle becomes perpendicular to initial velocity. Okay. So basically you need to find out that after how much time object will be moving perpendicular to initial velocity. Okay. Please calculate. Okay, everyone, please pay attention. I am going to solve this question in general form, and then we can put value of u and theta in the question to get the actual answer. Okay, try to understand what is happening. When object is projected, it was going like this, u and theta, right? At some moment, let's say object started going in this direction. So when you are extending this further, then this is becoming perpendicular to this. So that is the point P, where object is going perpendicular to its initial velocity. So how much was initial velocity? So let us see. So initial velocity of projectile, u vector, or you may call it u initial, is equal to u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta j cap, right? This is equation number 1. Now we have already calculated in previous segment that how much will be velocity at any time t. So velocity of projectile at any time t, at any time t. So v final vector will be, and that was how much? Vx I cap plus Vy j cap. So that was u cos theta I cap plus u sin theta minus gt j cap. Correct? Okay. Now, as per the language of question, these two velocities are mutually perpendicular. That means perpendicular to each other. So, as u initial is perpendicular to v final, hence their dot product. Hence their dot product must be 0. Why? Because we know that when two vectors are perpendicular, their scalar product or dot product will be equal to 0. That is the way to prove that two vectors are perpendicular. So that means, let me do the dot product. U cos theta I cap plus U sin theta j cap dot U cos theta I cap, okay, plus U sin theta minus gt j cap is equal to 0. Is equal to 0. So u cos theta into u cos theta, that becomes u square cos square theta. I dot I will be 1. Okay. Similarly, I dot j will be 0. So what finally we'll be getting? It will be u sin theta bracket u sin theta minus gt, and that is equal to 0. That is equal to 0. So u square cos square theta plus u square sin square theta minus u sin theta into gt is equal to 0. Now u square cos square theta plus sin square theta will be 1. This sin square theta and this cos square theta, sum of that will be 1. So what we are going to get? U square is equal to u sin theta into gt. So t will be u upon g sin theta. Correct? So this is the time at which velocity will become perpendicular. Okay. Now let us put values. So u was given as 40. It was given as 40, right? Yes. Upon g, g is 10 and sin theta means sin 53. That means 4 by 5. Okay. So how much that will give us? 5 seconds answer. Understood everyone? Understood everyone? Understood? Say yes sir. Okay. 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 Good. Good. After the class, revise this question once again. Okay. After the class. Now, we have talked about at any time where is the particle, at any time what is the velocity. Now we are going to talk about equation of trajectory of a projectile. Equation of trajectory of a projectile. Equation of trajectory of a projectile. So how to calculate that, what is equation of trajectory of a projectile and what is meaning of equation of trajectory? Okay. So during its motion, during its motion, a projectile moves on some path. Okay. During its motion, a projectile moves on some path, some points, move through some points, right? Now, equation of all such points through which the object passes or projectile passes is called equation of trajectory. Okay. Equation of all the points equation of all the points through which projectile passes is called equation of trajectory of projectile. Okay, all right. Now try to understand through diagram. This is x-axis, this is y-axis, and you have thrown a projectile like this, and it goes like this, right? So during its motion, during its transition, it is passing through various points. It is passing through various points. Now, how can you represent all these points? How can you represent all these points? So these points can be represented, all of these points can be represented by one equation, and that equation will be called as equation of trajectory. All these points can be represented by one equation, and that equation will be called as equation of trajectory. Okay, so how to calculate that? It is also quite easy because we have done half of the part. So as we know, I am writing it as we know because we have done it in previous part. So as we know, x is equal to u cos theta into t. x is equal to u cos theta into t. Y is equal to u sin theta into t minus half gt square. Okay, so x is equal to u cos theta into t, y is equal to u sin theta into t minus of half g t square. Okay, so these are x and y coordinates of particle at any time t as a function of time. What we have done, we have calculated x coordinate as a function of time. So basically you put value of time, it will tell you that okay, particle is here, particle is here, particle is here. So you keep changing the value of time and it will keep telling you x coordinate. Similarly in y equation, if you keep changing time, it will keep telling you okay, particle was here at y coordinate, here, here. Okay, very nice. So now if you eliminate time from these two equations, if you eliminate time from these two equations, so eliminating time from the two equations, we get, so t is equal to x upon u cos theta, putting in equation 2, so what do we get further? So y is equal to u sin theta into t is x upon u cos theta minus of half into g into t square. T means x upon u cos theta whole square. Okay, so what we have done, we have now eliminated time. So it will give us, pay attention, y is equal to x into tan theta minus gx square upon 2u square cos square theta. This is your equation of trajectory. So equation 3 gives equation of trajectory of a projectile. Equation 3 gives equation of trajectory of a projectile. Equation 3 gives equation of trajectory of a projectile. Komal is saying, sir, so you remain same at each point. Which u? U was the initial velocity. The moment initial point is changing, u will change. U had its meaning that it is initial velocity. Initial velocity means velocity at the point of projection. Now, how come you are asking this question? How come you are asking this question? The moment you have gone away from initial point, velocity will be something else. No, you are saying, I mean V. No, V will not be same at all points. It cannot be same. It cannot be same. It will keep on changing. It will keep on changing. X direction velocity will be same. That you can say. You can only say that x direction velocity will be same. Y direction velocity will change. And how it will change? Vy is equal to u sine theta minus gt. Okay. So equation 3 gives equation of trajectory of a projectile. Now you can notice that it is single power in y and double power in x. As it is single power in y, as it is single power in y and double power in x. Basically, what is it is representing? It is representing a parabola. It is representing a parabola opening downward. Why downward? Because coefficient of x square is negative. Parabola opening downward. Okay, understood. So because of this, projectile motion is also called parabolic motion. Because of this, projectile motion is also called parabolic motion. Okay. Why parabolic motion? Because object will move on a parabolic path. Object will move on a parabolic path. That's why it is also called parabolic motion. All right. Okay. Now the same equation y is equal to x tan theta can also be written as gx square upon 2u square. If I take cos square theta upward, it will become sec square theta. And sec square theta can be written as 1 plus tan square theta. So this is also the same equation. This is also the same equation. And as 1 plus tan square theta is equal to sec square theta. Okay. So because of that, we can use this. Now the same equation can also be written as y is equal to x tan theta bracket 1 minus x upon r. Okay. This is also representing equation of trajectory, but we use this when our range, horizontal range is given. Okay. Then we can use this formula. All these formulas are valid and applicable. We need to learn how to use them. Okay. Let me give you a question. There is a point from here a bullet is being fired. U is equal to 20 meters per second. Angle is theta. Then there is some target. This distance is 20 meter. This height is 10 meter. The question says find angle theta such that bullet hits the target. Please find value of theta such that Ramchandra is saying, sir, how come R? You use the formula. I'll explain this. Okay, how come R? Done. Now, in this question, listen carefully. In this question, it is asking about angle. Now, out of the three formulas which we have, The fourth formula is prominently talks about angle. Okay, so I'm going to use equation 4. So by y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square upon 2u square 1 plus tan square theta. I'm going to use this, okay, because I need to find theta. So y is how much? Y is 10 is equal to x is how much? X is 20. Tan theta that we need to calculate minus g is 10. Let me write directly as 10 into x square means 20 square upon 2 into u square is 20 square into 1 plus tan square theta. So that will be tan square theta. Now this 20 square cancel. This 2 is cancelling this 5 times. And this 5 is cancelling this 4 times and this 2 times. So what is left with us? So 2 is equal to 4 tan theta minus 1 minus tan square theta. And when you take it on one side, it will be tan square theta minus 4 tan theta plus 3 is equal to 0. So that will give us tan theta minus 1 into tan theta minus 3 is equal to 0, and that gives us tan theta is equal to 1 comma 3. That means theta is equal to either 45 degree because tan 45 is 1, or theta is equal to tan inverse 3. So both of these answers are correct and important. Understood, everyone? Understood? Understood? Okay. Now there was a question by Ram. He was asking, sir, how we were getting that R formula. Pay attention. Pay attention. We had y is equal to x tan theta minus gx square upon 2u square cos square theta, right? So what I am doing, I am taking x tan theta common. So if I am taking x tan theta common, it will be 1 minus gx square upon 2u square cos square theta. Now taking x tan theta common means I am dividing it by x tan theta. Common means divide, right? So that will be leaving us with x cancelled, and tan theta can also be written as sin theta upon cos theta. So one cos and one cos will also be cancelled. Correct. So y will be x tan theta in the bracket 1 minus x upon u square into 2 sin theta cos theta by g. What is this? It is r. So y is equal to x tan theta 1 minus x upon r. Okay. Happy? Understood, everyone? Good. Next question. Question says find relation between x1, x2, h and theta such that projectile passes through point P. Projectile passes through point P. Okay. So as you do the mathematics after the class. Okay. It was simple mathematics, cancellation. It was simple mathematics. So in this question, we are going to use the last formula. Okay. x1 plus x2, if you see, are nothing but r. For point P, coordinates are x1, comma h. So with these values we can easily solve. So y is equal to x tan theta into 1 minus x upon r. So y is how much? H is equal to x1 into tan theta into 1 minus x1 upon r. R is x1 plus x2. R is x1 plus x2. So h comes out to be x1 into tan theta. Now this will be x1 plus x2 minus x1 upon x1 plus x2. So basically x1 got cancelled. So what do we get? H is equal to x1 x2 tan theta upon x1 plus x2. That is the connection. That is the connection. Understood, everyone? Understood? All right. All right. Now the next thing which we are going to study is projection from height, and in that we are going to talk about horizontal projection. So projection from height, and in that horizontal projection. Okay. So basically, suppose if we have a tower, okay, and it is of height h, and if we are throwing an object with, let's say, some speed u, then that type of projection will be called horizontal projection, and ultimately the object will fall like this. Ultimately the object will fall like this, and it will reach to the bottom. So this distance which it is falling away from the bottom of tower or any building, that will be called range. All right, and such type of projection is called horizontal projection. Such type of projection is called horizontal projection. So what is horizontal projection? If an object is projected horizontally from some height, if an object is projected horizontally from some height, then such projection is called horizontal projection. Then such projection is called horizontal projection. So basically, object should be projected from some height and with some velocity. All right. So which sign convention we are going to use? Let me tell you very clearly in the beginning. We are going to use this sign convention. This is x-axis, this is y-axis. Okay. So pay attention. Along x-axis, along y-axis. Along y-axis. So along x-axis, what you can see is ux is equal to u. Along y-axis, what you can see, uy is equal to 0. Why uy is equal to 0? Because object did not have any velocity along vertical direction in the beginning. How much is acceleration along x-axis? Ax, it is always 0 in projectile motion. Ay, ay will be minus g. Ay will be minus g. Now when object is reaching at the bottom, displacement sy will be minus h. Displacement sy will be minus h, and time taken will be how much? T is equal to question mark. And how much will be velocity along y-axis? Vy is also question mark, right? So these two things we are going to calculate. These two things we are going to calculate. So by S is equal to ut plus half at square. By S is equal to ut plus half at square. Now Sy is how much? Minus h is equal to uy is 0 plus half ay is minus g into t square. So minus minus got cancelled. So we get t is equal to under the root of 2h by g. So this much is the time taken by the projectile to reach the bottom. This much will be the time taken by a projectile to reach the bottom. Interestingly, if you remember, if you recollect, if you drop an object from the tower without giving any velocity, then also it will take same time in reaching the bottom. So whether you are throwing an object horizontally or if you are simply releasing the object, both the objects will be reaching at ground simultaneously. Both the objects will be reaching at the bottom simultaneously. Okay. So this is for time. Now for velocity. So Vy square is equal to Uy square plus 2 Ay into Sy. So Vy will be Uy square is 0 plus 2 Ay is minus g into Sy is minus h. So Vy comes out to be under the root of 2gh. Under the root of 2gh. So object will be reaching at the bottom with this much speed. Okay. If you want to mention velocity, you can take minus sign. And if you want, don't need any minus sign. All right. All right. Now along x-axis. So during the time object is in air, pay attention. It is traveling the distance r. During the time object is in air, it is traveling the distance r. So r will be nothing but ux into t. So r will be nothing but ux is u and t is how much? Under the root of 2h by g. So that will be your value of r. That will be your value of r. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Understood? Good. Let me give you a question now. Question. So height of this tower is 125 meters. And this is projected with speed of u is equal to, let's say, 20 meters per second. So question says find number 1, time taken to reach the bottom. Time taken to reach the bottom. Speed of object. when it reaches the bottom? Speed of object when it reaches the bottom. And number 3, horizontal range. Horizontal range. Please solve. Okay. So time, pay attention everyone. You will find something quite interesting. So time t will be under the root of 2h upon g is equal to 2 into h is 125 upon g is 10. So that becomes root of 25, that is 5 seconds. Okay. So time is 5 seconds. Alright. Now horizontal range. I'm talking about third part first. Horizontal range will be nothing but ux into t. Ux into t. Ux is how much? 20. And t is how much? 5. 20 into 5 becomes 100 meters. Correct? Now comes speed of object when it reaches the bottom. Speed of object when it reaches the bottom. So Vy is equal to under the root of 2gh. Vy is equal to under the root of 2gh. So that will be how much? 2 into g is 10 into h is 125. And that will be 50 meter per second. But my dear friends, that is not the overall speed of object. That is speed only along y-axis. This is only speed along y-axis. So how much will be speed? V will be under the root of vx square plus vy square. So that will be under the root of 20 square plus 50 square. 20 square plus 50 square. So that will be 10 root 29 meters per second. That will be 10 root 29 meter per second. How many of you wrote this? None of you. None of you. None of you. Okay. Speed along y-axis is not the whole speed of object. Or you can say velocity along y-axis is not the whole speed of object. What you thought is the only speed which is along y-axis is the speed of object. No, that is not. That is not. All right. All right. Okay. This is 80 meter. This is 30 meters per second. The question says find number 1 velocity, no, not velocity, speed of object. Speed of object when it hits the bottom. Speed of object when it hits the bottom. Number 2, this point is O. Okay. Distance of object from O at t is equal to 2 seconds. Distance of object from O at t is equal to 2 seconds. Please find. Komal is saying speed will be 5 meter per second. Very nice, Komal. Very nice. मतलब यू आर सेइंग कि अगर मैं आपको एक 80 मीटर ऊपर टावर से फेंक दूं 30 मीटर पर सेकंड से, देन यू विल बी रीचिंग ग्राउंड विथ 5 मीटर पर सेकंड. वेरी नाइस, वेरी नाइस. सेफली लैंड कर जाओगे फिर तो कोई दिक्कत ही नहीं है. Samarth is saying 50 meter per second. Now Shane is saying 50 meter per second. Suhas is saying 20 root 5. It was a typo. Such typos cost you entire year. Okay. Pay attention, everyone. First of all, when it is reaching at the bottom, Vy will be under the root of 2gh. So that will be under the root of 2 into 10 into h is 80. So that comes out to be 40 meter per second. But this is just Vy. So V will be under the root of Vx square plus Vy square. So that is Vx square 30 square plus Vy square is 40 square. And that comes out to be 50 meter per second. That comes out to be 50 meter per second. So speed with which the object is hitting the bottom is 50 meter per second. And be very clear that at that moment when it is hitting the bottom, it will have 30 in this direction and 40 in this direction. Okay. Speed in each direction, velocity basically, because velocity is a vector quantity, you can break it in components. So velocity along horizontal will be 30 and it will remain the same. Velocity along vertical, it will be 40 meter per second. All right. Now distance of object from point O. So let us see that how much it has moved in X, in Y in 2 seconds. Everyone please pay attention. So suppose the object has gone like this. Okay. So this will be your X displacement and this will be your Y displacement. So X will be quite easy because X will be Ux into T. Ux was 30 and T is 2. So this is 60 meters. So X coordinate will be 60 meter. Now Y, how much it has fallen? So Y will be half GT square. So Y will be half into G is 10 into 2 square. So that is 20 meters. Now pay attention. This value is 20 meter and this value is 60 meters. Correct? So how much will be this value? Total height is 80. So 80 minus 20 will be 60. So how much will be this distance? So suppose this distance is L. L will be nothing but x square, which is 60 square, and y is also 60 square. So that will be 60 root 2 meters. So L will be 60 root 2 meters. That will be the answer. That will be the answer. That will be the answer. Okay. 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 Understood, everyone? Understood, everyone? Okay. See, when you are solving questions in physics, don't rely too much on mugging formulas. Understand that what is happening, how particle is moving, where it will reach. Okay. So if you are getting that value from the formula, that means actually it is from here. Okay. When you keep all these things in mind, your understanding in physics becomes very better
much better, and scoring also becomes very high. All right. When you simply memorize formula and put values in the formula, you don't know actually what you have got many times if you are not applying your brain. Okay. Application of brain is really very important in physics. All right. Those questions which we have done today, I want you to solve them once again after the class when you get time, so that you realize, okay, these are the fine things which we need to take care while we are studying and preparing. All right. Okay, everyone. Thank you so much.